everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am back with part 2 of this Scrappy quilt top tutorial. If you did not see part 1, go check it out. The link will be down below in the description box, in the pinned comment, and the playlist will also be on the end screen. So you can't miss it. Go check it out. And yes, my mother's TV is on and it's loud. I know that. All right, if you remember, I left off, I had made a few of these blocks and completed them to 7 inches, and I told you I was going to continue sewing. Well, what I did is I immediately made strip sets so that I don't have to put these strips on one at a time. I had mentioned that I would probably do that, and it's for sure the way to go. Now there are going to be a lot of blocks in this quilt top. I don't know how many yet, but I'm not concerned that, you know, if 3 pieces have the gray and the blue together, that's not going to matter at all. So I made some strips with 2 colors, and I made some with 3, and we're just going to go to the machine and I'm just going to show you how I did that and how I use these. I cut a pile of strips. Geez, I even have more here. And I am, you know, keeping track of like how many inches I'm using of strips. And so far I've cut like about 3 yards of strips, 3 yards total. I don't know if I'm going to need all that, but you know, I'll let you know at the end. And I've been cutting different widths now. Like this is probably 3/4 of an inch. This is probably like an 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches. And I just wanted to vary it, so we're good in this department. I think I ended up with using 12 different colors, so I'm really happy that I went with the solids. So to make a strip set, very easy. Let's start with this kind of wide cream, and let's put with that, so fun, let's put a narrow-ish purple. And we're just going to sew all the way down. Now, if you are concerned about, you know, having, you know, too many pieces with this color combination, well, we could do half strips and then, you know, just, you know, make a whole bunch of half strips. But I'm not concerned at all, so we're just going with it. And it also can be turned around. Like when this is opened, you know, the block we're starting with could be sewed with the beige touching it, or it could be sewed with the purple touching it. So we can flip it as we want. All right, I'm just going to sew all the way down. Okay, so look at this screw up. This was folded over, and I never realized. So what I can do is I can just trim right here. Where's my scissors? I make plenty of mistakes all the time, and I could, you know, rip this open, which probably wouldn't be that hard, since, yeah, that's what I'll probably do. Or the other option would be to just cut on the inside of the line, and I would just have narrower strips. But I'm going to go ahead and just rip this open. Look at that. That was easy. I'll just pull those threads out later. No one will ever know that I fucked up. Alright, if you were stopping here and you wanted to just make some 2-color strip sets, and I do want some of those, and I would just stop here. But if you want to go ahead and make a 3-color, you can, you know, just go ahead, you know, you don't have to like really finger press right now. You can just go ahead and add something to either side. And again, you could add a certain color for a little way, and then, especially like if you have short pieces, like let's say I could do this. I could add green here for a little way, and then I could add this color. Yeah, let's do that on this one. I haven't done that yet. Good way to use up these shorter pieces. And it'll give us strip sets of 3 colors, and that are not exactly matching. Take the selvage off. My mother's watching Mrs. Doubtfire. Some blue. This is so fun. I really like this. If you enjoyed crumb quilting, I think you're going to really like this. It works faster too. Now let's see if I can find something to fit here. Oh, just about perfect. And now I would just go and press this all open. See what I mean? Jelly bean. I didn't actually go press that strip that I just made because I just want to, go ahead and show you how I put these together now and how much quicker it works. So I'm going to start from scratch here. Here's just a plain block that came out of my Scrappy pre-cuts, and I'm going to work on this way first. So I'm thinking I can put 2 strips on one side and maybe 1 on the other, or it might take 2 on the other side too. So I'm going to, let's see, I want it on the aqua. And I'm just going to sew down. And again, I could have chosen the other edges first, but I'm just going to go this way. Just because. And since I have a strip here, I'm going to go ahead and add another piece. I'll add this one. Now, if I wanted to, if I was concerned about the color combination looking the same in too many places, I could always lift my foot up, lay this one touching the purple. Let me just go ahead and do it. Since, we have the strip here, I could just move over and sew this way now. Oh my God, do love. And let's do another one like that. And I'm going to go ahead and fill up my strip. Now I will go press these and I'll be right back. I went ahead and pressed that piece I just made with you guys because I'm actually going to use it, but I just need to snip it apart first. And here are the pieces that I just made with you. And this guy. Now what I'm going to do is, gee, I need to press that again. Imagine that. I was concerned about some wrinkles. Got some stubborn wrinkles right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly measure this. Now, I'm going to be adding to this side, so I'm measuring this way. And I'm at about 6.5, so I can put 1 wide strip on this end, and I'm going to just pick a wide strip, because we always have to remember we're going to lose about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I want to make sure that I can add 1 strip, and that's going to be wide enough. So I'm just going to put that like that, and let's put it right over there. This guy needs a good 2 inches, if not more. So how about we put this strip that I just made? That will be enough. That will give us 7 in this direction. And I'm going to put it there, so I know that's going on that. This guy only needs about 1 inch, 1.25 inches. So, I could put 2 narrow strips, or I could put 1 wide strip. How about we do 2 narrow strips? So I'm just going to put this with this. And this one just needs 1 wide strip. Let's go with a nice dark gray. Now again, in real life, I would have a whole bunch of these ready, and I would know which ones will work with this big fat strip. I might have, 10 or 15 of these stacked and some fat strips. I would never just put one thing on a strip and sew. I want to fill the strip, so I would make sure I have enough blocks that would go there. But for the sake of the video, I'm not going to do that. But do remember, if you work like you're on an assembly line, that's how you're going to get a lot accomplished. Now when I press that open, I will have 7 inches, and then we'll be able to do the other side. So let's do the other 3 blocks, and then we'll finish these 4. And all will be good with the world. Okay, I said I was doing this. Now I can decide, do I want the green or the gray? I'm going to put the gray on it. And here's why I chose to put the gray against the fabric. Because the gray was kind of narrow, and if the gray was on the outside, when it comes to squaring these up, I could have lost like a lot of the gray. So I thought I would put the wider piece on the outside. So if I have to trim, I've got plenty of green, for trimming. And I love that little narrow gray stripe in there. Ah! Next, what do we have next? We have this and this. Notice I don't sew on the end because that's a beginning of a crumb block. I'll show you. See, this goes in my crumb stash. That's a beautiful center of a new crumb block. It's a baby crumb that's already put together. You know, like I saved that one and I saved that one. I save all this shit. I really do. And I use it. Okay, next and last for this tutorial. I hate to call my videos tutorials because I don't really feel like I'm teaching. I'm just like showing you guys what I do. I really want you to do what you want to do. And we're going right here. If I could teach you anything, it's that I want you to know that there are no rules, anything goes. I want you to experiment and to practice and to play with things and to know that it doesn't matter if the final product looks like a hot mess, because the goal here is to give a quilt to a child or even to your dog, or to keep in the car, or something your husband can lay on in the garage when he wants to pretend he's a mechanic. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's function. We're going for function here, not art. You know, in my world, artsy is just not what I'm aiming for. I have a great appreciation for the art. I love looking at beautiful artwork, especially like with fiber art, quilts, things like that. People that, want every intersection matched up and every point to be exact. That's all wonderful. I love that for people who want to do that. But I'm just here to make a quilt top that, that a kid might vomit on. So, there's a place for function also, and that's what I'm trying to teach you. Don't worry about it, just do it. And these are the 4 blocks. I actually started with 5. I wondered why I had an extra, but we're going to make these 4 in this video. So these all have 7 inches now in this direction, and I am telling you, this was so quick. Do not, and I mean it, do not sew 1 strip on at a time. Just don't do it. And remember, if you have a piece like this and you want to turn this into a 7-inch block or whatever size, you are more than welcome to just add a big ass piece of fabric on one side, both sides. You can do whatever you want, and when it's 6 or 7 inches or 8 or 10 or 12, whatever you want to do, you can trim it. Obviously, if you're making like a 12-inch block, you might want to put like a few of your Scrappy pre-cuts in it, because or you can use this as a center and build around it. I don't care what you do. I just want you to play with it. Now, all of these are going to need something on both sides. Let's start with a 3 on this side. This might be a little wide for this one, so I'm going to put this aside. But look, this guy is very narrow, so this will be great for this piece. Sew that on here. And I think this guy can go on there too. And again, if I wanted, I could put it on the blue. Let's do that. So I'm just going to pick this up, pull my threads a little bit, and go on this side. Now these 2, since they're kind of wide, I think I'll put those on a strip of 2 colors. And let's do this guy. Let me go press and snip. This piece is going to work great for this guy, which was kind of on the narrow side. And I'm going to sew this way. And again, I would have enough blocks. I would be filling this. Just remember that. I don't sew 1 piece at a time like this. All right, this block I'm sure is done. Let me measure. Believe it or not, this needs 1 more strip. It's just a hair under 7, and I want wiggle room. So let's put 1 more piece on here right now. You really do lose a lot in the seam allowance. It's surprising. Now my mother's on the phone. So I'm just going to add a piece like this. And that will be good. This should work with this. It's gonna bring it close to 7. If I need wiggle room, I'll just add another strip after. When I do piecing like this, I do, usually bigger than a 1/4 inch. I want to make sure that I'm really catching all the fabric. Okay, next one. Now this guy, I really, you know, I'm going a little wonky here, and I had to trim it, and so there's not too much going on over here. I'd actually like to add something to this edge so that when I trim, I don't want to have to be trimming here. So I'm going to do that. Let's pick a strip, any strip. I'm going to do some of this orange. Now that green is going to be very narrow, but see, I love that. I wish I could, you know, if I ever do something like this again, I would like to make a lot of strip sets of just very narrow pieces, and I don't know, I just like the looks of that. All right, so now this is almost 7, so I'm just going to add a single strip on this end. It's surprising that with all the colors I have, I feel like I don't have enough. And this guy could use a narrow 2 strips or a fairly wide single. Ooh, like that. I'm gonna go press these open. I'm done 4 blocks. I know we started with 5, but I'm done 4. And I gotta tell you, this was so quick and easy. I am absolutely not stressed about this project anymore. I was a little bit stressed, you know, for the first video because I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So it's understandable. Let me stress out. It's allowed. Okay, so I have this one. I like it. And this guy, and yes, they're thready. I'll clean that up. And this guy, and this guy. So very happy with how these turned out, so much quicker. And they're all 7 by 7 at least, or a little bit more. And again, I'm not trimming now. Okay, so I had an idea last night while trying to fall asleep about the more narrow pieces, you know, like this. And then I was thinking, before I even thought about another way I wanted to use these, I had decided that I don't want this quilt top to be, you know, just like, you know, like this, you know, like the typical sewing the squares together. I don't want it, well, see, I'd have to turn this so it's not like all matchy-matchy, but you know, I don't want like the 4-patch look, so I'd like to alternate so that, you know, the lines going up and down are like more in the middle of this patch. It's hard for you to see, but you know what I mean. I don't want intersections matching, not because I care about intersections, you know, having to be perfect or not. I just think I will like the look better if the things are not even. So when you do that, you have to cut one end, one block in half and add it to this end, or you can make a tube and cut it, but I don't want to do that. But then I thought maybe with the narrow pieces, maybe with some of these, I could make some blocks only 4 inches wide by 7. And I could put these in between other blocks, depending how many I would have this size. If I didn't have enough, I could always take bigger pieces and cut them down a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I might make a couple and just see what it looks like. If not, I will probably do my other option of just, you know, making the blocks uneven and cutting a block in half and adding it to an end to, you know, give it enough width. All right, that is it for this video. Do go check out the playlist so you can get caught up on this series. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with more soon. Bye!